Welcome, my name is Luis Chiappi, Executive Vice President and Senior Partner of AXA Advisors here in South Florida. It is our distinct honor to welcome you to this year's 2014 Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce Healthcare Heroes Award Program. We're looking forward to having an outstanding time recognizing some real true healthcare heroes in our community. And when you think of it, healthcare has got such a profound impact in everyone's life. And that's why it's our sincere pleasure to be back with you here today to celebrate these great stories and human beings that are impacting our community. In a time like today, healthcare going through many changes is more important than ever. And that's why we at AXA Advisors partner with healthcare professionals in helping people with their financial health. Thank you for being here today, and we look forward to a great program.
Few people have had a greater impact on the overall quality of healthcare in South Florida than Dr. Bernie Fogel, whose relationship with the University of Miami spans 6 decades. Bernie Fogel completed his bachelor's degree at the University of Miami and then in 1957 entered Medical School.
Medical school was in the old Biltmore Hotel. It was an excellent medical school from day one, but unknown to the people of South Florida.
Dr. Fogel would certainly change all that, but first he would have to complete residency.
My first 2 years of residency in pediatrics was at Jackson Memorial Hospital, and then Sinai of Baltimore, which had a fellowship with Johns Hopkins. It was just a wonderful experience. But what I found out from it was that Jackson Memorial Hospital and the University of Miami had a better training program than anybody else.
It was 1964. Vietnam and the draft were in full swing. Dr. Fogel was stationed in Walter Reed Army Institute, serving 2 years as a researcher, a time he relished. But after that experience, Dr. Bernie Fogel and his family were ready to return to Miami, where he joined the pediatric team at UM and Jackson Memorial Hospital.
And I had got a National Cancer Institute fellowship, worked in the Howard Hughes, and immediately became head of neonatology at Jackson Memorial Hospital. And that was all in 1966.
Dr. Fogel already had impressive accomplishments at a young age, but he was about to put the University of Miami on the medical map.
Bernie made a huge difference, and he not only improved substantially neonatology, which is the care to kids who are born prematurely, but he also improving the quality of care for kids with birth defects. For example, DiGeorgi syndrome. Kids who are born with it don't have a normal immune system. That he was actually instrumental in the first thymus transplant that brought back a normal immunity to the children.
The thymus was so small you couldn't see it. We put it in the child's stomach. It reimbursed his immune system, and it probably led to all of the other type of implants and bone marrow transplants and all of that. I did this with our chairman, Dr. Bill Cleveland, and it made all of the journals, all the newspapers. It was a major success.
He moved the entire medical school to a very different level. In terms of reputation, we became a school where novel things in medicine really started.
He made this institution what it is today, taking care of literally millions of patient encounters on an annual basis. He really, I believe, spearheaded the first neonatal transport unit here on this campus and maybe even in South Florida.
Dr. Fogel would go on to various leadership positions, culminating with his appointment as Medical School Senior Vice President for Medical Affairs and Dean in 1981. But he is the first to credit Jackson Memorial in part for his ability to make a difference in healthcare.
Everything that the medical school students learned and did was in Jackson Memorial Hospital. Jackson Memorial Hospital was really among the best county community hospitals anywhere in the United States. And so we saw every disease imaginable except frostbite.
Dr. Fogel grew the program during a challenging time in our history.
I think the thing I was proudest of was the fact that at that point, years and years ago, you still had signs of color and white. And we were very much against this. What we were able to do is gradually transfer Jackson Memorial Hospital into a hospital that took care of everybody.
And his mission to eliminate color barriers extended into the makeup of his students as well.
We were able to mount, with Carrie Meek, a program in which we went into the high schools and found individuals who were interested in medical school, predominantly African Americans, and set up a program in which every summer they went to what we called a mini medical school. We also had a huge number of Spanish students, predominantly Cuban, and so we became a school that became very diverse.
Dr. Fogel created a culture of community service and outreach, teaching medical students the importance of helping the poor and disadvantaged, earning the medical school the first annual AAMC Community Service Award. But he was equally comfortable with our community's most privileged, a talent that would forever change the UM landscape. Dr. Fogel had a rare finesse for fundraising, which led to some of the finest healthcare programs anywhere in the world.
Through his leadership, he made it possible for the Ryder Trauma Center, for the Miami Project to Cure Paralysis, for the Sylvester Comprehensive Cancer Center, doing leading research, delivering the highest quality of care for our community.
Many of the different programs that we're best known for, he raised the money. He is the ultimate trustworthy individual. He's open and honest, no hidden agendas, and everyone trusts Bernie.
Individuals like Court Sylvester, who built the stuff, he walked into my office and handed me a check, literally, for $27.5 million. Or the bachelors who wanted a research building, Mark Bonacotti's and Lois Polk's spinal cord injury and neurologic injury. So all of this came together, and it was really the fact that people had confidence that we were going to deliver. It's one thing to ask for money, it's another thing to show that you've had success and been able to use their money effectively.
He very diligently and intelligently figured out how to change medicine in this region, working with the state legislators, working with the county legislators, working with organizations like the Parkinson Foundation. You know, he got the Parkinson Foundation to make the medical school at the University of Miami a Parkinson Center for movement disorders. And you know, that created a huge opportunity for neuroscience.
Parkinson Foundation and I were like partners. They were on our campus. They have been good to the medical school to the tune of approximately $20 million.
It's estimated that during Dr. Fogel's 14-year tenure as dean, he helped raise $319 million toward the capital campaign and expanded the medical school's budget threefold to more than $450 million. But perhaps his greatest lasting legacy is the compassion and commitment he exemplified to hundreds and hundreds of medical students and patients whose lives he's forever impacted.
Well, I nominated Bernie for this extraordinary award because he's an extraordinary man. When I look back at what Bernie Fogel was able to accomplish, I tell you, he has my full admiration for what he has done. I think that nobody is more deserving for this award than Bernie Fogel.